And here I am. It just was one of those days. I just couldn't get my act together. Started doing. I woke up this morning. I've been behind every second. But here I am, finally made it. Welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday here on the Debruary channel, where we go through advice questions that have been sent in by listeners, viewers, whatever you call them, um, for the past couple of weeks. Today is Tuesday, December 15th, as we wind down 2020. I can't believe this year is almost over. Only two more shows to go. Yeah, two more shows, and then we're out of here until this 2021. This is amazing. But, it is what it is. You guys winding up. We're getting gearing up. That's one reason I've been really busy lately, gearing up for Debruary. There's a lot of preparation that goes into that show to prepare a video for you every single day for 28 days. So I've been busy with that a lot too. And I'm still accepting suggestions for guests. So if you know someone who is an author who has written a book that would be of help on our with our focus, which is self love, or maybe a therapist, someone like that that would be a good guest for us. Please submit their name to me. Just drop me an email at survivingdating@gmail.com and let me know how to get in touch with them and a little bit about their background and all of that. All right. So, you guys, let's get ready. Let's see how many letters we have this week. Ha ha. We have 20 letters. 20 letters, which is good. That's a good manageable amount. 25, which we did a couple of times. That was way too many. You have a few names, well, hey, send them on. Send them on. Sometimes people don't want to be on YouTube, or, they're otherwise committed or whatever. Or they listen to one of my videos and say, oh, this woman is crazy. I'm not trying to be on that show. But it's still good to have some names and suggestions. And so I reach out to them and see what they have to say. All right. So let us get started. We got 20 letters. This is number one of 20 for those of you who like to keep track. Question number one. This is from a female in the 22 to 30 age group. She's from Gainesville, Florida. And she says, due to unforeseen circumstances, my friend had to get another roommate immediately after hers suddenly moved out. She ended up having this guy that she knows who's a friend of a friend of a friend type. And over the last few months, she's been living with him. She's been mentioning a lot of creepy sexual things he says to her. Wow. We both have gotten the idea that he doesn't know how to talk to women, or that he's been repressed his entire life and is still trying to discover how women work. But now he has a real life woman in front of him. For example, we made a joke about how we're a gay couple. This is a long-standing joke for literally half our lives that people have made a lot because we're very close. Before we knew he was a creep, and then ever since then, he would joke about sexual details of us having it, you know, as a quote joke. Or he asks why she rides motorcycles and then says he figured women exclusively ride motorcycles because it turns them on. Then, when she explained that no, women do not ride motorcycles to get turned on, he didn't believe her. This guy sounds like a nut. And now he's gotten this new joke telling her that she needs to lay a towel down every time she watches a movie with a erotic scene in it. It's happened a couple of times. Oh no, he would get cussed out. There are way more examples, but these are the ones that stand out to me right now. They've been living together for about 3 months. I'm asking for help to help her figure out what to say to him because she's literally so uncomfortable. She doesn't want to talk to him, but she knows she has to. We think he's generally harmless, but it's still just gross and creepy. Well, what she's going to have to do, and who is the friend of the friend of a friend of, type of situation. Um, when you have friends and they, especially males, and they know a guy is a weirdo and they still recommend him to you anyway, that's kind of suspect. Okay, so I would be jamming them up. What the fuck you recommend this idiot to me for? Okay, that's one point. And then number two is, she's going to have to like sit down and straight tell this guy, these are the things that are off limits to you to talk to me about. You don't ask me shit. You don't make no quote jokes. You don't have nothing to say about that. We're fucking roommates. You better respect the limits that we have in our, in our situation here, living situation. Don't you say shit to me. You think whatever you want to. That's you and your red wagon. But once it comes out your mouth and you verbalize it to me, you got 3 times after that I'm giving you a fucking ass an eviction notice. So you better watch your damn mouth. That's what you better do. And I don't really understand this because this kind of thing here, he crossed the boundary as soon as you guys said that you're a gay couple, and he starts saying he wants to look and asking details and all. So that was the very moment there. If that's the first thing that happened, I'm going to say this because it's the first thing you mentioned. That was a moment when she was supposed to check him like and check him hard. Even if we were really that way, it's none of your goddamn business what we do in bed. Are you a fucking what the fuck is your problem? That's what she was supposed to say to him. And then read him the right act right then and say you got 2 more times. Because 3 strikes you up and you out. And that's just the way that it is. So then, then asked about motorcycles and then he didn't want to believe her. That kind of stuff. Like she had to defend herself against some weirdo freak fool that moved into her apartment. So now, personally, I would be looking for someone else. And then when I found that someone else, I would give him a 30-day eviction notice. That's what I would do. He wouldn't be living in the house with me after doing all of that because I couldn't trust him. This is just ridiculous. So that's what you tell your friend. She needs to, And anyway, it's your friend. How come you didn't move up in there? This is kind of weird. But you living with some. What's the story there? You guys are so close. Why didn't you move in? But regardless, she needs another female roommate, and then that she won't have that problem. I had a male roommate at one point. He was cool though. He was very cool. He didn't. Yeah, we didn't have any problem. The only thing he did was he played really. I had these like little big bookshelf speakers, European speakers. They were very powerful, but they were in a small cabinet. And I paid a couple of $100 for them things. This fool blew out my speakers, playing the music so loud. I wasn't home, so I, missed it. He was playing my stereo so loud it blew the speakers out. So I promptly held up my fingers, like so, and said, "Give me money to replace them." And so that was that. But that's about the only thing he really did that besides I had that girl in my room that time that used all my expensive perfume I was telling you all about one time. My Panther de Cartier. And that wench would was there and practically took a bath in it. That's how you know she's used to some Jean Naté or some shit from Walmart. She's not used to having no real perfume, and she just took a bath in my stuff. I was so pissed. But yeah, your friend there, she needs to get rid of him. He probably is, harmless, but he's crossing boundaries. And when you have strict boundaries in place and a male crosses them in any way, he should be dismissed from your life. And that's just my belief system. There's no room for for negotiating, compromising, giving chances too much. When you live with somebody like that and you have they're a legal tenant, there are certain things that you're going to have to do, which is file eviction or, so in an instance like that, especially when she needs a roommate to pay to cover the rent, she's going to have to be a little more flexible than somebody else who might be able to write the check and cover the rent all by themselves. You know what I mean? She's going to be a requirement because otherwise she's going to be on the street. So she's in a situation where she has to look realistically at the situation. It's getting on her nerves, but it's not really hurting her. But what she still needs to do though is get him up out of there. Okay. Yeah, they was using that Jean Naté. She that heifer used to using some Jean Naté. So she used to just taking a bath in it. And so then, she just went overboard. Anyway, let's move on to question number 2. This is a female 22 to 30 age group from Clinton, Michigan. Oh, I didn't even know. That's my brother's name. I didn't know he had a city named after him. I'm going to have to tell him. About a month ago, I met a guy on a dating app and we hit it off instantly. I was 24. I'm 24 and he is 25, if that matters. Our first date was great. We spent hours talking about what seemed like everything. The second date was amazing as well, and we began to open up to each other pretty quickly, which is rare for me since I tend to be quite guarded. It was during the second date that he mentioned he wasn't looking for a relationship at the time because he was looking for temporary job positions in the other side of the country and wasn't certain where he'd be in the future. I was caught off guard and obviously disappointed since the chemistry was there. So far, he had given off vibes as a relationship guy by planning sweet dates, initiating checking up on me during the week, etc. But I appreciated his honesty and we agreed to keep getting to know each other slash be transparent about how we were feeling. It wasn't until after the third date that I realized I was developing quite serious feelings for him. He seemed really into me too, so I was conflicted. But he told him it was best not to see each other anymore. Excuse me. Since he wasn't looking for anything serious, he responded by reiterating that he's not sure of the next couple of months with his career, and because of this, thinks that starting a relationship would be unfair to me. My question is the bad timing reason for just an excuse? I'm not looking for an immediate relationship, but I know that if I met the right person, which he appeared to be, I'd at least be open to giving it a shot. I'm not sure why I would continue to invest time and feelings into someone who's not certain and risk getting hurt. But a part of me, excuse me, why am I sneezing? But a part of me also thinks I may be thinking about this too seriously. There's no 100% certainty about what's happening in the next few months anyway. So shouldn't I enjoy the good times I've been having with them? I mean, every relationship, serious or not serious, has the potential to fail anyway. Okay, see, okay, first, you wanted a relationship. Now, you may say that you didn't now because he said he wasn't sure. Well, I'm not looking for an immediate relationship anyway. So you start to backpedal, but you realize that you're having all these feelings and you have chemistry and all this stuff and you're starting to get all these feelings. Once you get feelings, what along with those becomes expectations, even if you don't want to vocalize them, that the other person is going to return those feelings. That is everyone's situation. It's not just yours. It's not just women's. Men have it too. Everyone who has feelings for someone else has the hopeful expectation that that person will return those feelings so that they won't get hurt. That is the standard issue. Now, what you're doing is because he started telling you that and backpedaling and being Mr. Emotionally Unavailable, you start trying to adjust yourself so that you can wrangle this around in your mind so that you can still spend time with him and continue getting in deeper and deeper into a man who has already put you on notice that he don't know where he gonna be or when he's leaving or anything else. Now, it could be that this is just a lie, okay? Because how you going to be going across the country for a temporary job? Unless he's doing some shit like he's a traveling nurse or something, what is the point of that? You could go a couple of cities away and get a temporary job, something that you could go to in one day and come back home. So this is some bogus, this don't even sound right, okay? So I'm just putting you on notice that this is some bullshit. So what you need to do is be smart about this. You don't just see him, you don't just invest time in him. You see him if you want to, but you don't get any feelings and you don't be spilling your guts and you don't be getting emotionally attached and tell him all the stuff about yourself. You're investing emotions in a situation where it is stupid to do that. Okay, the dude done already put you on notice. So if he decides tomorrow that he's going to disappear on you and he's going to go wherever he's going, there's nothing you can say. He would not have tried to cheat you or trick you or anything like that because he already told you. Now, what would Deb do? If a man told me something like that on a second date, there wouldn't have been a third. It wouldn't have been a third. I'm not on the dating thing unless if I was just there to have a good time, I wouldn't care because I would have been dating him and Joey and Simon and Randy and Ricky and all of them at the same time, right? So I wouldn't have cared. He would have just been like another person to replace on the roster. But the fact that you have all this angst that took the time to write this letter shows that you in too deep, chick. You need to back up. You need to back up. And you're trying to justify how you're gonna, get around and make yourself available to this fool. Stop it. He done already told you. Stop seeing him. Stop calling him. Don't be bothered with him. Okay? There's no point at this in this age group that you are in for you 20 you're 24 years old and he's 25. Okay? That's not like a teenager where you just going to be dating this one that one. Okay? So think about what you're doing here. You're making a great mistake investing time and emotion in this situation. I don't know if she's thirsty. She just doesn't understand the mistake that she's making. I had a friend, and don't think it's just because she's young, because I had a friend who was in her 40s. Okay, she's older than me at the time, older than I was, 'cause I was still in my 30s. And she went on, internet dating or whatever yeah, some, the personal thing. And she met this dude, right? And dude starts talking about how he's going to be leaving the country. And the way she told me this, because he didn't say it till after they had, done the wild thing. And he got to talking about, he's going to be leaving the country. And so she's telling me about it. And I said, "Is this the first you heard of that?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Oh." I said, "Do you believe him?" And she said, "Well, why wouldn't I?" I said, "Because he's a fucking liar. That's why. He just wants to dip out. That's his way of dipping out." And so I was right because she happened to see him at some party or something a couple of months later, and he was trying to dodge her. But she's like me, so she went up to him and was like, "Oh, I thought you was leaving the country. What happened?" Kind of thing, and busted him out. But I had already told her that's all it was game. It wasn't even good game. I was like, this clown. Well, I don't know why. It must be because I got some sleep. Sleep does a wonderful thing to people because I never get any. But I did. Yeah, I thought that was pretty, that was pretty raggedy. But she had done the same thing. Get in too deep into a situation where she didn't really spend that much time with dude, and she's just hopping in the bed with him. I mean, they're in their 40s, so of course her expectations are going to be different than a young girl's. But I could still see in her eyes, that she really liked this dude, and she was somewhat hurt by the fact that he did pulled that disappearing act on her. But I synced, dude. I synced a picture. And I was like, why did you even mess with him? Because I would have been on the date, the first date, and looked at that and been like, oh, wow, look at the time. I must go. Because he just looked like a little creature feature. I don't know. I just wasn't impressed. He wouldn't have got nothing from me. Now, yeah, a handshake maybe. It's pre-COVID days, remember, so people still shaking hands. But that was about it. Let's move on. Question number 3. Male, 18 to 21, from St. Peter's, England. I have a group of people I really admire and support, he says. I believe in them perhaps more than they believe in themselves. In particular, most of these people are girls around the ages of 20 and 21. I've always wondered if me rooting for them is annoying. I'm very subtle, almost always, in telling them they can do it, reminding them of what they already have achieved, telling them I believe in them for upcoming exams, etc. What I wanted to ask you was, if I cut down on this, when should I cut down on this, and if it's wrong in any way? I'm probably overthinking this, but still, help me out. P.S. I'm a 21-year-old male. Well, yeah, we figured that out. Um, it's really unfortunate that more friends aren't like you. Like, seeing the best in their friends and rooting for them and cheering for them and reminding them how fabulous that they are and, wishing the best for them and all of that. You have a great attitude. Don't ever stop. Don't stop. If they have such low self esteem that they can't get with the program, that's their problem. That's not yours. As long as you're not lying and game and trying to come up on some trim, you're being legitimate, realistic with these people. These are things in them that you see, qualities and behaviors that you see that you think are really great, and you're expressing that earnestly. There's no reason for you to stop doing it. This is just something, they're just going to have to adjust to. Yeah, he sounds like, a good friend to have, somebody who, sometimes, because everybody, even the most confident people, will run into a situation where they might feel a little bit shaky. Oh, this thing is like blinding me. Well, they might feel a little shaky. Their self-esteem is not quite 100% like it normally is, something like that. And then to have a friend like this who reminds you that you've done some great things in your life. There's no reason for you to doubt yourself. Yeah, it's a new experience. Yeah, it might be tough and challenging, but you've never faltered before, so you can do this too, kind of thing. So you can be like, yeah, he's right. What am I doing to I get you back on track. Those are great friends to have. So, young man, don't stop doing that. The fact that these are girls, unfortunately, so many young ladies have damaged sense of self-esteem and very little confidence. So if they're like reacting negatively to this in any way, it doesn't matter. That's, like I said, that's their problem. Continue to be yourself, and you will find a group of people as you mature that appreciate that about you and who will also return it. Okay? So you're on a good path there. Your parents raised you right. Good for you. Let's move on to question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 30 age group. It just says UK. And she writes, my ex and I are both 24 years old. Ex. We officially ended things 3 weeks ago because we went back and forth after our breakup in September. His behavior, I love how they spell behavior, IOUR, was so hot and cold, and I was just confused about what he wants. I blocked his number, but his messages kept coming through. Hmm. Oh, well, then you didn't block that. You didn't block his message. You only blocked his phone calls. You didn't block his number completely. He reached out yesterday and asked how I was doing, like nothing went wrong in our relationship. He cheated, by the way. I was like, why are you messaging me? He's like, nothing. I was just thinking of you, hence why I messaged. I continue to say that nothing dramatic hasn't changed between us in 3 weeks, so there's no point in talking. I asked his intentions and he never answered that, but he just said, I'm sorry for bothering you. Thank you and bye. I'm just confused about why he messaged. Like it's been 3 weeks. He clearly doesn't miss me because he didn't mention it once, other than just saying he thinks of me sometimes. It really pushes me back on my healing, and I get extremely confused on if he really means anything he says. And she put a frowny face. I feel also a bit toxic because I keep giving myself the title, the one that got away, because I did so much for him that no one else would. Any advice would be helpful. Hmm. Okay, well, go through whatever process you need to completely block him, including changing your phone number. Block him on all social media accounts as well. Okay, so this little half stepping thing that you did here, you wanted him to still contact you. You ain't fooling nobody. Don't play this kind of bullshit ass game with me. You did not do what you were supposed to do. Okay, you have did it because you still have hope that y'all will get together. That's why you talking about he's confusing about what he wants. You don't give a fuck what an ex who cheated on you wants. That's how I know that you lying. You lying to yourself and you trying to lie to me, but I'm not stupid. Okay, I'm not 24 and I was not born yesterday. I know what this means. So I'm gonna read your ass little ass the riot act. You block him completely. Every time that you let him in and he plays this game with your head, it's gonna set you back on your healing. Now let me tell you what this game is all about. This is the is she lonely enough to ask me to come over and tap that ass call. That's all this is. He just wants to see if you replaced him, if you get some dick somewhere else. That's all this is about. Okay, so they try to play this little game so that you let them come over and cry on their shoulder and whine, and they talk about, yeah, the good old days, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the next thing you know, you in the bed with your legs up in the air trying to figure out what the fuck happened. And then he jumps up and leaves and like, well, yeah, that was great, but I still don't want to be with you. Okay, and the main thing is you was with a dude who cheated on you. Okay, he knew when he was doing every step that it took to get that other woman in bed that he was going to hurt you in the end, but he chose to do it anyway. That's the thing that really drives me crazy about women who take men back who cheat on them. What are you thinking? This is somebody who blatantly lied to your face and did everything he could to hurt you. He knew it was going to hurt you down to your very soul, but he did it anyway because what he wanted was more important than hurting you. I don't understand why women don't replace that, you know? You don't replace that. Why you don't accept that reality? and deal with it from that perspective, because that's exactly what it is. They try to make excuses. Now I can see where, if somebody's been married for 20 years and they have a whole bunch of kids and whatnot, and this is the first time that something has happened, whether it's him or her, and then they go to counseling, this and that. Okay, those are people invested. They have a marriage. They have a whole family that's going to be impacted by this. They owe it to themselves to figure out what was the problem there, and either use that time in therapy to come to work it out so that they stay together, or to work it out so that they part ways peacefully, accepting of the fact that their marriage is over. So therapy in those situations is always good. I always think that's a great thing to do. But you just dating somebody, you 24 years old and you all worried about what he's doing and all this old stuff here. I told you, 20 men in their early 20s are hoes. Okay, you don't worry about what they doing. You just replace them with the next dude, because he gonna act the same stupid way. That's what they do at that age. Okay, so now let's talk about you though. Let's go back to you. Okay, you're gonna block him. You're gonna change your number. That would be the best thing for you to do, is change your phone number. So then that way he can't message you and he can't call you. Okay, ever. It just won't be happening. And you trying to romanticize it, talking about he was the one that got away. He need to get away. He cheated on you. Are you? Did you forget that part? You just overlooking that and talking about the one that got away. No, he made himself go away. That's what he did. He left you on his own little legs. He just walking, walking, walking like this until he met up with this other woman. Then he jumped on her, and then he walked on back to you. And then you come turn to think that he got away like it was an accident. Hmm. So I'm gonna say this: you did all the stuff for him. Don't do shit for men. There's a video on this channel about why you should not do things for men. Let them do it for themselves. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. I can sure them they have Google numbers in the UK. I mean, I would think, I mean, I don't know what services they offer in other countries, so I can't really say that, but I'm pretty sure they do, since it's a worldwide company. But that's the main thing you need to do, is get him out of your life. Okay, out of your life, like, immediately. And then you can finally start this healing and stop romanticizing his behavior and overlooking how he stabbed you in the heart and talking about, he was the one that got away. Shit, you should have pushed his ass off a cliff. Anyway, question number 5. Female, 22 to 30, from Sunderland, UK. I'm 26, he's 30. We met through mutual friends. We have been seeing each other for 6 weeks and been on about 10 dates. He has said he is looking for a relationship and things seem to be progressing well between us, but we are not yet official. We have not spoken about past relationships, and whilst I thought he probably has exes and may have been in long-term relationships before, I never imagined that he'd been married. I thought he would have mentioned something that big, and I am hurt that he hasn't. A mutual friend mentioned in passing, assuming I knew this, I guess, that he was married and his wife cheated. I know he's lived with his housemate for 3 years, so this was at least 3 years ago. I confirmed that this was true, but did not want to ask the mutual friend too much, as I felt like he thought I already knew, and I felt stupid that I didn't. I feel like I'm already getting emotionally invested in this man and see a future with him, and whilst having been divorced is not a deal breaker, it is a big thing for me. Why do you think he's not mentioned anything about it? Is this a red flag that he hasn't? I really like this guy and no reason to think that he's not trustworthy. Should I ask him about this or wait for him to bring it up? Oh my God, you're doing too much. First of all, the fact that he's divorced in a situation like that where the man got stabbed in the heart, you think he want to just trot that out and just tell every bitch he's met? He's not going to talk about that. That is hurtful. People don't want to talk about their divorces. I mean, they might tell you, yeah, I was married and then I got a divorce. And they're not going to tell you no details, though. But in this case, did you ask him, had he ever been married? If you didn't ask him, then that's your fault. You say we didn't talk about it. Well, did you start a conversation where you asked, well, tell me about your last relationship. Have you ever been married? Have you ever been divorced? Do you have any kids? That's the kind of stuff that you do if you're a woman and you want to know those things. You don't just wait for the wind to blow and the information to be knocked out of them or something. That's not how you handle yourself. So, you didn't ask him, and so you didn't ask the right questions, and so you didn't get the right answers. That's your fault. Okay, it's not like the man lied to you. Men just do it on a need to know basis. And in a situation like this, where it was extremely hurtful situation, he's not going to be in no rush to rehash that and relive those emotions. Okay, so just understand what's going on here. When people, it's just not something. And plus, whether he was married or divorced, the only reason it would affect you is if he has children. Okay, because if you marry him, he's got child support notes to pay and visitation and stuff. The kid's gonna be coming to the house where y'all live in and all this old kind of stuff here. Well, then that impacts you. The fact that he was married and divorced 3 years before he ever met you has nothing to do with you, and it ain't your damn business. Okay. Now, if you want me to know stuff, that's nothing you need to know. You need to know something about him as a person. The main thing to know is he emotionally available or is he still healing from that? That's all you really need to know. The rest of it will come in time. I just don't understand all this. Is this a deal breaker? Is this a red flag? Why is it a big thing for you? I'm not understanding. What's the big deal? How is it impacting you that he was married before and now he's not? It's just, to me, it's just like a long-term relationship. So he was dating somebody and lived with him, and now he's not. Well, is that a deal breaker for you? Does that matter to you? If that doesn't matter to you, then the fact that he was married shouldn't matter either, because it's the same shit. Sometimes people live together and their relationship is better than a couple they actually got married. Quiet as is kept. So I'm not really understanding why this is a big deal for you, but that's my suggestion. Let it go. And if you feel like it might be a deal breaker, then you need to bring it up. You're a grown ass woman. Open your mouth. Question number 6, female, 31 to 39, from Tucson, Arizona. This is question number 6 of 20. We have 20 questions today on What the Fuck Tuesday. Thanks for everybody for coming through. Thank you for showing up. And my mod, all in the house, all the usual suspects. I see everybody in here. It's good to see all you guys. Yeah, let's move on here. Question 6. So I'm 30, she says. Oh, and I have been speaking to a 32-year-old guy I met from online dating. We haven't met face to face yet due to one of us being away, but have been talking daily for weeks. All of a sudden, he stopped replying. I felt invested as the chat had been good, and I want to meet him, although I regret not having asked him already. I'm guessing he stopped replying because he's no longer interested or actually doesn't want to meet, but I guess could be for other reasons. Is it desperate/low for me to message again, even though my previous messages, part of a conversation, have gone unreplied to? Or should I cut my losses and walk away? Okay, so you have some other previous messages from a conversation you two were having, and at the end of the conversation, he stopped replying to you, and he has not replied to you since, and you're asking if you should walk away. The answer to that question is yes. You don't text him more times, and I don't know how people are having a conversation by text anyway. That to me does not count as a conversation. That's just like toying around. You don't know what dude's situation is, if he's married, if he's living with somebody. You don't know what the deal is, but I suspect it might be something along those lines, which is why he can only go so far with his flirtations. They have to cut it off and start somewhere else with someone else, because by the time a woman starts pressing him to meet, he has to decline because he doesn't want it to go that far. So what I would say is, in the future, if you feel like you vibing with somebody, y'all exchange a few messages, a couple of phone calls or something, by that third call, you should be setting up a date to meet, the time to meet. I would not do, well, he might not be married. He might be living with somebody or have a girlfriend, or, we don't know what his situation is. He might be in a wheelchair. There could be so many possibilities for why he's only going to go so far and then put the brakes on. He could weigh 600 pounds. You don't know what the deal is with dude. We don't know that. But I'm just saying it's something. And so that's why he's only going to go to a certain point before you get to the point where you start demanding that the two of you meet. He cuts it off. And that's what he's done. And that's their typical pattern when they're really not available. So, in a situation like this, like I said, get it offline into the real world as quickly as possible, because people like you did will start putting, they start getting their emotions involved in a fantasy, because you haven't met this person, so you don't really know anything about them other than these little flirty texts and stuff that you're exchanging. And so you start to put all kinds of stories with it, and imagining how this person is in real life, and imagining this future with this person and all this stuff. It's a fantasy based relationship. So once it becomes time for you to really meet the person, and you lay eyes on them and interact with them face to face, you see that there's absolutely zero chemistry. The person is a dweeb. They're totally unattractive, not your type. They don't do nothing for you but turn you completely off. Well, then see, you saved yourself from all that time and all that emotional investment in a black hole. So that would be my suggestion. Okay, so don't handle yourself like this anymore. And those of you who are listening, don't do that either. If you talk a couple of times and then say, well, when are we gonna meet? And if they start hemming and hawing, say, well, okay, well then don't call me anymore, because I really want to. I'm trying to meet somebody. I'm not trying to play on the phone like a fucking 5-year old all year. And then you hang up, block their number. You got to be kind of brutal with it, because there's all kind of people online that just want to toy around. A lot of them are married, and a lot of them are deficient in other ways, where they don't feel, they feel like they would be rejected if you met face to face. So they like the pretense of having a relationship, someone to talk to. I mean, and just think of these COVID times. A lot of people are at home. They're bored. They're lonely. They're going crazy because they sealed in the house. They can't see their friends or family or anything. So they're reaching out online just for the sheer entertainment value. So don't get yourself all invested like that. If they don't want to meet, they don't want to come out the house and meet you for whatever reason they have, then just nix them and move on to the next one. That's how it is, though. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a pen pal. Exactly. I'm not trying to do all of that. Forget that. You don't want to do that. So let's move on. Okay, so I already did. Question number 7. We have 20 questions today. Perfect number. It's a perfect question. She's in the 22 to 30 age group. She's from Rotherham in the UK, wherever that is. I have no idea how to deal with confrontation without awkwardness, and a friend very casually called me ugly and then suggested I'd be alone for the rest of my life because of it. I have no idea what an appropriate response to this would be. Because of lockdown, I've not really had the chance to actually get out of my house to make friends, so all of these friends, quote friends, have been through one of my housemates. He's male, 18, and not a particularly nice person, but that's it. I generally have no idea how to respond to this, but I don't want to just act like it's fine to treat me that way. I feel a bit more comfortable just telling her to fuck off and never talk to her again. But if it wasn't for the fact that nearly all of my friends at uni are people I've met through her, and she's at my house very often, which also wouldn't be such an issue if I didn't have to go through the living room to reach my bedroom, which is where they hang out. I honestly feel horrible about this situation. It's possible I'm being oversensitive because I'm a very anxious and neurotic person, but it really hurt my feelings. I'm not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, so to be fair, I suppose she's just being honest, but I think it was horrible to express that out loud to me so casually. In the moment, I just looked at her shocked. She laughed, and I just turned to my laptop to work because I was quite upset, and I didn't want to make her aware of that. I didn't bring it up again, but also didn't really speak to her after that. Girl, you were supposed to go smooth the fuck off. Say, bitch, when I don't see your ass on the local magazine covers. Ain't no lining men lining up for your fucking ass. So I don't know what you doing trying to call somebody ugly. Like, does that make you feel better, bitch? You feel better now? You low self-esteem having hoe? You think you're gonna be? Do you think it's fun to sit up there and try to crack on somebody? Like that's gonna make you look like you big? It makes you look like a stupid bitch, which is exactly what you are. Get the fuck out of here. Cause see, this is the deal. It's your house too. You paying rent there. You can get anybody to fuck up out of there that you want to. And if she don't want to leave, call the police and have them escort, pull her ass up out of there. Say it's an antagonistic situation and she threatened me, officer. I don't want her anywhere near my house. And file a restraining order on her bitch ass and let her deal with that. And your little roommate dude, he do you don't like it too fucking bad. Don't make me file one on you too. You know what I mean? I wish a bitch would say some shit like that to me so I could have a license to act a fool. Because, I just like to act a fool just on GP. So to have a real reason, oh my God, it would be 10 minutes later. I'd still be talking about her ass. She would run out of the house crying by the time I got through with her. It's like you think, you're a flat ass, you a pissy bitch, all kind of stuff I would say to her. But that's the main thing because she's thinking that that's a big thing. So that's what you would have to call her out on. It's like, I don't see your ass on no magazine covers. You ain't on nobody's runway. Okay? Where's your grand beauty at? Skinny leg, ugly ass hoe? You got the ugliest attitude on anybody on this planet. And then whatever else you want to say. I don't know what the girl looks like, but there's always something that you can pick on them about because that's only the ones who are very self-conscious and have very low self-esteem are the kind that like to do that kind of stuff to people. So when you flip it back on her and start talking about her, that's like you probably sleep in makeup because your ass is toe up. So you don't want nobody to see that troglodyte ass face that you got without makeup on. So you come out the house, you wake up in the morning with false eyelashes and bullshit on your face. Stuff like that, But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what she really looks like, but that would be the opportunity to go and read her from her head to her toes. You know what I mean? Because, they them kind of so insecure. They always have to have makeup on. They stay in the mirror. They stay in the mirror. I met girls like that in high school. They could not walk by. We had like big windows for the library, so you could see in there as you walk. They had like this walkway and it overlooked the courtyard. And so you go down this walkway to go to the other, side of the building. And so there, you could see your reflection there. There would be these girls, they couldn't even walk past it. They're like, checking themselves out and fluffing and doing all this old stuff and everything. And they were just so, how they looked was so important to them. I show up in jeans and what they used to call desert boots and, whatever else was comfortable at that moment and stuff. I used to sew a lot of my clothes. So all my stuff was very unique because I used to model, believe this or not, I'm going to tell y'all my secret. I would watch Jackson 5 on TV and I would model my clothes after some of the stuff that they had on because their shit was designer, right? It was unique. I remember Tito Jackson had these pants and they had like these little footprints on them and one leg was black in the front and white on one other leg and then the opposite on the back of the pants. And I made me some pants like that and I used my little brother's baby shoes and traced them and made the little footprints and put them up my pants and you could not tell me that I was not fly. And me and Tito Jackson was the only ones that had them pants. I just want you to know. So that's the kind of stuff I used to wear, in high school. I wasn't tripping. But, I just felt like, we couldn't tell me I wasn't cute. I know I was cute. Now, I may not have been like fantabulously beautiful and all that, but I was very cute and I had a bubbly personality and I had, lots of people always wanted to be my friend. Plus, I would get straight A's. So what can I say? Some of us just have it like that. But I would never think that I was going to ever try to put somebody down and do that kind of stuff to them. That's that mean girl bitch shit. And so she would have got red. So, young lady, after all that long-winded talking around, you got to find your voice and be who you are. And don't be afraid to be who you are and to be different. You don't have to look like a cookie cutter like all the other girls. You can be, uniquely beautiful in your own way. And there are going to be people who are going to appreciate you just for that. But one thing you do not do is let some bitch talk to you like that. And you don't know how to deal with confrontation on a situation like that. I just told you. So you're going to practice it. And I'm telling you, if she gets out of pocket again, call the police and have her ass yanked up out of there. All of them will learn a quick lesson to respect you. Watch that. Because they won't know what to do. They always, the bitch is threatening me, officer. Can you remove her from my household? And I don't want her back up in here ever. You want to see a bitch? Let me show you how it's done, son. Because you are amateur. I got a PhD in bitchery. Question number 8. This is a male, 22 to 30, from Edmonton, Canada. Earlier this year, I took up building, fixing, and flying drones as a hobby. Ooh, you must have some money. Building, okay, because they're kind of pricey. 4 months ago, I met another guy who was just getting started flying. He asked for advice, and I gave it to him. We exchanged contact info so we could meet up to fly. Now I'm regretting giving him my info. He will not leave me alone. And I can't seem to get rid of him. I'm starting to feel guilty the way I'm acting towards him. I just get nastier and nastier. He's super reckless. He's high all the time. He goes flying. He breaks his stuff time and time again and tells me not ask me to fix it for him. Never have I heard a please or thank you. Then he breaks it all again and contacts me constantly at work, when I'm out with family, doesn't matter. And if I tell him I'm busy, he says sorry but keeps texting. He doesn't work, so he has all the time in the world to bug me. Wow. If I don't respond within half an hour, he tells me I'm leaving him hanging. He takes zero initiative in figuring out how to fix his stuff himself, and I've been more and more blunt with him to learn to fix it himself. Then he has the attitude, okay, I'll fix it myself. Walk me through it step by step. So I walk him through it, and he just doesn't pay attention and just says, can't you just do it? Wow. Yesterday, I blew up at him. Long story short, he asked me to walk him through wiring something via text. I spent an hour going over the wiring diagram for the actual manufacturer, which was straightforward as possible, with him. And he had the attitude of, I think this diagram is wrong. I'm going to do it my way. Despite my warning him numerous times, I told him he was going to ruin everything that way, and he ignored me. So I lashed out and told him to use his brain for once and stop wasting my time if he's not going to listen. His response was along the lines of, boy, I'm concerned about you. You have anger problems. It's like you're a different person. After that, I simply told him I was done and going to internet forums advice from now on. He texted me plenty since. One is about how I'm treating him like an ex-girlfriend by not responding to him, which is pretty insulting, but I've ignored them all. I guess he ends up destroying his drone thanks to his wiring job and wants me to come up with a solution, but I'm really ready to drop him. I just don't care anymore. I feel like I'm constantly dealing with a small child. It's exhausting. A couple of other pilots I met since have cut him off, and now I'm realizing why. Yes, I get that I partially created this monster by helping him in the first place, but he does not seem to get a clue. I tried setting boundaries and that didn't work, but I still feel like a jerk, even though I feel like I shouldn't. Well, dude, where's your nuts? God damn it. I'm tired of these young men that don't have no cojones. Dude, this is what you do. He talking about stuff. You have to say, you know what? You ain't you. I'm not fucking you. Okay, I don't owe you shit. I've already done more for you to help you than I should have, and that's my fault. But guess what? The gravy train ends here. Anything you want to know about your goddamn drone, motherfucker, look it up on YouTube. YouTube has videos about everything. He can learn everything he needs to know on YouTube. Okay, and just say, "It don't call me anymore. I'm done with you," and then block his number so he can't reach you. Make sure you do it right from your manufacturer's, your phone carrier's website, so that it blocks all things, the messages and phone calls. Because if you don't do it right and you only do it on your phone, that's kind of iffy. Some people, their phones, the person could still text you. I like to go on to the website. There's my account. Block this number. And you click the little box. Block text, block emails, block to your phone email, Verizon whatever, and then block calls, and then they're completely blocked from getting you. You know? Yeah, them drones are expensive as hell. They're well because guys, I don't think Mary Elizabeth, guys don't think like women do. They don't have that sense of urgency that we do. About our safety and our concern for, violence or harmful words and, this kind of stuff. They don't think like that because guys don't have that kind of reality. So the way that we're going to perceive a situation as risky and dangerous, like almost right away, they don't. So in a situation like this, had this been me and, he broke his stuff and he telling me to fix it for him the first time he did, I would say, well, you got $100? Because I charge to fix shit. I'm not fucking you. You are not my woman, motherfucker. So where's your money? You don't have no money since you don't have no job, then don't ask me to fix shit. I'm not doing it. And so that would have been the end of that. You see what I'm saying? He didn't put up a boundary from the beginning trying to be a quote friend, which I guess in their little flying community of pilots, drone pilots, that's how they do. They support each other. And I could understand that. But if you have someone who's trying to take advantage of it, he ain't helping nobody. He just taking. Then, he needs to be excluded from that little community. So I'm glad you finally blew up at him, but the main thing is you got uh to go through the process of blocking him and get him out of your life. But our show will be telling motherfucker, you ain't got a pussy and I'm not fucking you. You don't tell me shit. There's nothing for you here. Thank you, Portia. We always appreciate a tip. We always do. So I'm like, wow, this is just pretty amazing. But young man, this is, I don't know, I'm just really, this is just really bothering me. How many young men, could you guys, have you guys noticed this? I couldn't be the only one who's noticed this. How many young men have been writing in, and the problem is that they are not assertive at all. I mean, they eventually get there, I guess, kind of, but I'm looking for them to come out the box and come out hard and check people, and they don't do it. I mean, that's like how my brothers and my uncles and my daddy were. They would have put your ass in pocket like real quick. Like what the fuck I look like? Hell no, get out of my face. Expletive, 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 and so everybody would know how they really felt like right away. But these guys, they're just like so nice, and they just do things that they shouldn't do and accept stuff that they shouldn't accept, and it's just that milk toast thing going on. I just don't even know a better word for it, but it's just so appropriate. Okay. But anyway, you do what you need to do to get them out your life. Okay. And you try setting boundaries. You didn't set no boundaries. Boundaries is fuck out of here. I'm not doing shit for you. That's a boundary. Okay. Question number 9. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Silver Springs, Maryland. So I'm 19 and I've had some, eggplant encounters. And a few nights ago, I had one that didn't go so well. I was with this guy I've been just making out with for a few weeks, and that night we finally wanted to do the do. Fast forwards a few minutes, we are really making out and getting it on, and then he starts to finger me really hard with no passion whatsoever. So I tell him he should slow down a bit and be more gentle, so he does. Then after he thinks, I'm excited enough, he bends me over and starts to bang me really hard and starts to slap me and pull my hair and choke me a bit. And don't get me wrong, I might like that a little bit, but I had to get away from him for a few seconds because I was very unexpected, and I didn't tell him that I liked that. I feel like a girl who isn't into that would be really scared when a guy started doing this out of nowhere without even checking with her first if that's okay. This happened a few times already, and most of my girlfriends have had similar experiences. Is there any reason to why this happened, or am I just overreacting a bit? Should I text him something or do anything else? Girl, you should have kicked him in the nuts when that happened. Okay, you are not. You know where this come from? The pornography industry. That's where this is coming from. These guys watch that and they're so stupid. They think that an actress getting paid $10,000, $15,000 to make a movie is how it should be in real life. They're so retarded, their IQ so low, they can't not figure that this is pretend. Okay, this is not real. These are paid actresses. They're getting paid to do that. Okay? And j- they ain't paying you. So what's the issue here? Not only does anything a man does to your body, he's supposed to check in with you first to ask you, is this okay? Do you like this? Or go judging by your response, he could tell if you liked, if he was any kind of real lover. These guys aren't. They're idiots. So I'm going to suggest this to you and your friends and any other young ladies who are in a situation like this. You get up. You say that. I don't know what the fuck you trying to do here, but this ain't no fucking porn movie, motherfucker. You get up, you put your clothes on, and you leave. You don't sit there and endure that. You don't sit there and take that. You don't sit there and let him continue to treat you like that. You get up and you get ghost. This is the kind of shit. This is why I keep a knife under my pillow. I've always done that. Because you do some shit to me if you want to, it's going to be the last thing you do. I'm going to open your ass up like a gutted pig. You're not going to hurt me. And it's like, that's what I do. I'm sorry, that's what I do. I learned that from my daddy before I went away to college. And so, it's never done me wrong. I've only had to pull out on 2 people. But this kind of thing here, is so sad. It just really saddens me that you got, and you said this has happened several different times. And it hasn't been addressed yet, and you and your friends haven't talked about this. I'm telling y'all what to do right now. And you need to have this conversation with a dude before, during this feed period of time where you was doing the quote making out and all this stuff. You should have talked about this, about what you, if you know it's going there, you feel okay about it, you want to move advance it to that level, you two should have had a conversation about what you like and what you don't like and what you will and will not tolerate. And you should tell these dudes then. It's like, I don't know what kind of, if you were into that porn shit and you like to think you're gonna be slapping on somebody and jackhammering somebody and pulling people's hair shit like you see in a movie, motherfucker do that to me, I'm gonna cut you. So it's like, we don't have we that's not, I don't know what that is, but that's not appropriate behavior to a way to treat a woman's body. And you just let them know. So this is, you guys have to find your voice more and you need to talk more. These young dudes are stupid. They're stupid as fuck. And since their daddies aren't around telling them anything sensible, they're learning from what they see on the porno. And they think that that is real, that is the way that you would have the love making session with a real woman's body. That is some shit that will get you stabbed in my house. You're not going to touch me like that, and you're not going to do me like that. Yeah, I told you about my daddy carrying his gun. I had an uncle who used to have switchblade. So, just we have violent people. But I tell you what, ain't nobody fucking with us. It's not going to happen. So this is very unfortunate, but and if you struggle with speaking up for yourself, please get some therapy, because you have got to find your voice and you have got to do something that establishes firm boundaries with these men, including getting up and leaving. Leave them alone. They don't get the benefit of your body and your time if they're treating you like that. That's just wrong. Okay, and then if they try to stop you, see, then now we've moved into a criminal assault and sexual assault, and now, brotherfucker, now you going to jail. On top of you ain't getting no pussy. So, a lot of dudes, they want to be all bold and brave and stuff, but until they facing prison time, especially the young ones, because you cute, yeah, take your ass on to prison. Let's see how long you last, how long your booty hole stays intact. You think it's so much fun to assault somebody? Let's wait till it starts happening to you. So a lot of them, they sit there and they think about it. I'm telling you, especially the real cute ones, they don't really think about, okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna be the young cute one in this prison with some real hardcore dudes. Maybe this is the move I need to make, because I'm not trying to have that happen. But that is what exactly was going to happen, because you're going to be somebody's bitch, little nigga. That's what's going to happen. So I suggest that you let me go, and we just going to call it a day, and we don't never have to see each other again. You felt you felt horrible, Rhonda? Yes, see? That's I don't this should not happen. This should not happen. This should never happen. And any young men, you got sons, you got brothers, you got nephews, you got all these young men in your family. You be sure to let them know. Yeah, I know you watching that nasty shit on your phone and on your computer, but let me tell you what. Don't you ever do any shit like that to a woman. Remind them that this is a fantasy. Just like Fred Flintstone and Barney, motherfucker, is not real. Okay, you don't go treating women like that, and you ask them what they like. And if she's not making moaning, groaning sounds and reaching for you and shit, then that means your shit is fucked up and you don't know what the fuck you doing in bed. Don't be trying to learn from no goddamn movie. Go read a goddamn book. So stupid. Motherfuckers haven't cracked a book since they graduated from high school. And sitting up there trying to use them nasty ass movies as some kind of tutoring tool. I swear. It's just so disgusting. Question number 10. Oh, wait a minute. God damn it. How much did he write? Shh. We about to skim this. He's in the 18 to 21 age group. It says UK via India. I want to start by saying that I love my girlfriend. He wants this relationship to work. They've been best friends for 2 years, only been in dating for 1 month. They're in a long distance relationship. She's been a dancer since childhood, and knows traditional dance forms. So I asked her if I could see her dance, and she said no. She's shy about it. And I took it as a casual no, so I tried again. I was not being forceful. I just kept trying to convince her about it. She kept holding on to her no. And here's what I think I should mention, that she's not camera shy, not video call shy. About the dancing part, she's been doing this since she was a kid, so no, she's not shy about that either. But I was offended by her no. By this, I do not mean I got angry, just annoyed and then upset. That means angry in English, okay? I know how immature and weird that sounds, but that's the truth. I took it personally, though I'm aware that I should not have, but I did. I've been thinking about making this request for a long time, and I was really hoping she'd say yes. So I was having trouble coming to terms with her no. I did not know how to handle it gracefully. I know it was a simple thing. I asked for something she wasn't comfortable with, and she said no, and I should understand it. I did accept her no, and I did not pursue it any further, but I still felt bad about it. My thinking was that since it's a daily thing for her, and given the fact that she isn't camera shy, she shouldn't have said no. God, this last sentence screams that I am one entitled to know that she had dated a guy in the past and he used to force her to do these things on video and she was very young, 18, and new to all this. She felt taken advantage of. He made her dance on video, what made her very uncomfortable. When I put forth the same request, it brought back bad memories. Now I'm feeling very horrible for pushing her for this. Had I not taken her no personally, I would not have tried convincing her for this. Now I know I have done the deed. I really don't want to do it again. For extra context, I'm from India. The males I know are not willing to talk about such things. And honestly, I don't know many people like that. I have a handful of friends, 5 or so guys my age, and I don't think I can get helpful feedback from them. Don't even get me started about my parents. If they got to know that I have a girlfriend, they'd be very angry. Yes, in my country, still the majority of people are like this. And since this is my first relationship, and I don't really have any experience dealing with any sort of relationship, I'm totally out of my depth. I want to learn how to be better. Can a not just a better partner, but also a better person? Can you help me? Yes, I can. You're not going to like it. See, from what I know about your culture, um, and it's all over the internet, stories all over it's very male dominated, right? A lot of males feel entitled to women's bodies. Now, even though you may not be consciously aware of this, that is how you were raised, okay? And it's the same here. A lot of guys have that mentality as well. I don't know why men think that they're entitled to women's bodies or would do know to have women do what they want them to do, but it is there. It is a very real thing that we have to deal with almost every day. So the best number one thing for you to do is to sit there and start examining yourself. Where do I get the idea that because I want something from a woman that she has to give it to me? Where did that fucked up idea come from? Think hard. Okay, and then you go through everything that you can remember from the time you can remember, the messages that you were given as a young man, as a young child, male child, that you were entitled to anything to do with a woman's body, time, energy, effort, affections, anything. Why do you think that you wanting it makes it something that she has to give you? Start thinking on that. And then whatever that fucked up idea is, you need to work on eradicating it. Now, they have therapy that you can get. Some of the some schools offer it. You go into uni or whatever. They have counselors at the school, and you can go and talk to them about it. As far as what you do with women, understand that no means no. And as the phrase says, no is a complete sentence. She doesn't have to justify it, give you any reason, make it feel more palatable to you, give you a backstory. She don't have to do nothing. When you ask her for something and she says no, motherfucker, that's the end of it. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. She don't want to do it. She don't want to be it. She don't want to give it to you. It's her body. It's her time. It's her resources. It's hers. She decides who gets it, not you. And you could be in your feelings if you want to, but you better fix your face. And the main thing here is, you getting mad about her fact that she says no, and well, you do it all the time anyway, and all these justifications that you have why she should be giving you what you wanted. See, that's some really fucked up thinking. And she's lucky she's very nice. She's a very nice, well-raised young lady, because if that were me, sir, you would have got cussed out and been every kind of motherfucker I could have thought of. In whatever language you speak, you would have been a motherfucker in that language. So this kind of thing here, is it's I'm really glad that you became aware of it at such a young age. I'm happy that you are questioning yourself. This is growth. This is a growth opportunity for you, and it is going to make you a better person. It's going to make you more compassionate, and it's going to make you someone that women feel safe to be around. This is important, especially if you're going to get married and have a wife and daughters. It shows that you respect other people's boundaries. This is key. This is something that a lot of men need to work on and just have not done so yet. They will use threats and they will use violence to try to force women to give them what they want. Some of them end up dead. They might not end dead at her hands, but she got some male relatives like mine. He will end up dead later because he tried to force an issue where he shouldn't have been forcing nothing. He should have just taken that L and respected the fact that she said no and went on about his business. So I'm happy that that won't be in your future because you're going to learn how to respect someone's no. So you get used to it. Have people say no to you, and just start checking in with yourself and see how you feel when they deny you what it is that you want. And at some point, you'll become okay with it. Okay. And that will mean that you have arrived. Yeah, but he's not the only one. This is a worldwide problem with men. And, I mean, a lot of people don't like to hear me say that, but religion is at the core of it. All that shit about women submitting that y'all like to spout. And like, you should submit to your man, submit to this. But it's that mentality that is ingrained in men that women are supposed to be subservient to them and do what they tell them, and women who follow along with that bullshit. That's why there's no room in my life for nobody's religion. I'm not doing that. I don't believe in it. I don't want to hear it. Don't come at me with that shit. And, I'm not following it, and I don't give a fuck about submission or anything else that has to do with anybody's religion that puts me and my needs and my desires for autonomy second to some motherfucking ass man. I'm not doing that. And so, a lot of people get offended because they're like, well, you're like anti-God and this and that. Yeah, well, so what? How's that impacting your life? It's not changing nothing for you. Get the fuck out of my face. So, that is at the core of it. When you really think about the widespread, the millions and millions and millions of people that follow that line of thinking, then you can see what we're up against as women. You got a man who believes in that kind of stuff, it's going to be an uphill battle for you. The problem is so many women believe it too. So they reinforce that bullshit with the males in their family, their own sons, their husbands, and everybody. Got them thinking that shit instead of telling them where to stick it where the sun don't shine. And, I'm not giving no preacher my goddamn money. He can go get a job like everybody else. What the fuck? Please. Let's move on. That was question 10. We got 20 questions today. Question 11, female 18 to 21 out of Memphis. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 2.5 years, and our relationship is very serious with us planning on getting married and starting a life together. Something would trigger her, and she'd go into a very immature and chaotic state where she says things like to hurt me, like, I stress my boyfriend out. I'm a manipulator. I don't love him as much as he loves me. She continuously gaslights me into thinking I'm the one with the issue. I should get over it, move on, etc. I'm so tired of going through these cycles. She also is an awful influence on his life, constantly yelling at him on the phone, accusing him of blocking her when he doesn't immediately reply to her text messages, and refusing to take accountability for any of her emotional abuse. In August, was my final straw with her blowing up at me for something that wasn't entirely my fault and weaponizing my past mistakes and even airing out the details of my relationship with her other children and relatives. Wow. It's worth noting I have never been anything but kind to her and have never yelled at her. But it's impossible for me to have a serious discussion with her without her losing control of her emotions and saying hurtful things to me. So I asked my boyfriend if he could speak with her about the way she's harmed our relationship and maybe convince her to have a change of heart. At the very least, we just want closure so we can move peacefully on with our lives without her. My boyfriend is luckily on my side through all of this, but it's wrong to have him do my bidding. Am I putting him in an unfair position, or is his responsibility since she's his mother? You only in the 18 to 21 age group, so let's just say you 21. You've been with him for 2.5 years. I know people get married younger in the South than they do, out here. So I'll allow that. But I'm gonna tell you this: I don't do weird ass mamas. I just don't. The boyfriend I had when I lived in the South, his mama got started, and I had to remind her that he's fucking me, not you. So anybody stuff he gonna be talking to and doing and all doing, the woman he's gonna be listening to is gonna be me, bitch, because I'm the one that's fucking him. He's laying in the bed right now with his hands under his head, waiting for me to get in there. So what you talking about is irrelevant. You need to go find you a man to fuck, and then you can have influence over him. But this over here, this is mine. And it's great that he's your son and you birthed him and all of that, but you can't fuck him. I do. That's my job. And so it just had to get her straight. She was just like all appalled. And the sister, his sister, she was like foaming at the mouth when she got off the phone and told the sister what I had said to her. The sister called me on the low low and was saying, "No, you did not say that to my mom." I said, "Yes, I did." Because she needed to hear it. She needed to be, to understand her place here. Because she was getting confused. She was, trying to get out her envelope. You can't be, and she had a husband. That was the part that was the weirdest part. She had a husband, but he was her only son, and so she was just going crazy. But in a situation like this, notice how she treats him, and notice how he does not stand up to her. That should tell you all that you need to know about what these commands you trying to give him. He's not going to be able to do that. He can't even stand up to his mother about his own self, the way that she treats him. So he's not in a position mentally or emotionally to separate from her the way that you want him to be and the way that you need him to be in order to be the whole husband that you're looking for. He's not capable of it. He's not. But see, me, I don't care about such things because if once she started lashing out at me, see, now that's not involving him. Now, if this is a me and you situation, I'm getting ready to read your ass like there's no tomorrow. So once she came, just gaslighting, talking about I'm the issue and I should get on and move on and all stuff. See, that's when she would have got to know, bitch, you just want me out the way. So you think you could have influence over him and his money and his time and everything else. And you mad because he's fucking me and not you. That's what you mad about. What you need to go is go on down there to the corner lickety split little bar thing they have and get you a motherfucker to fuck. That's what you need to do. And so you have something to do with your time besides worried about your son. See, because that's inappropriate. He's a grown ass man. He don't need you worrying about him like that. And what you're doing is interfering in his life. You busybody old bitch. So, she would have got that kind of conversation. But until he is able to stand up to his mother and say, "Stay out of my business. Don't you talk to my girl like that. I'm going to cut you off. Don't you call me no more." And start blocking his mother, putting on the timeout and stuff like that. Until he reaches that kind of point of emotional separation from her and independence, this is never going to go anywhere. It's never gonna go anywhere. So you're very young. It's great that you love him and all this kind of stuff. But this is not gonna work until he stands up to his mother and learn and find gets that courage. This is just time that you're wasting in a situation that's not gonna ever give you the kind of man that you're looking for. Want a goddamn spine. He don't have it. He's weak for his mama. So my suggestion would be for you to start figuring how you're going to ease your way out of this situation and plan to get married to someone else because this is just a hot mess. It's never going to change until he grows up and finds his voice. Okay. And you can't make him do that. Let's move on to question number 12. This is from a male, 22 to 30 from Garden Grove, California. I was always told that men age like wine, but I'm starting to think it could be a fallacy for most men. It is. Y'all break down like there's nobody's business. I've always adopted a mindset that I should focus on my education and get the job first. Then other things will fall into place. I got the job now and will need to put more attention to my love life. I'll be entering my 30s and I'm still single. Well, that's not old. In my 20s, when relatives would ask if I would make the excuse that I needed to focus on my career when that question was brought up. But now I feel like I need to find somebody. Everyone in my family is married or in a long-term relationship, and I'm still single. It sucks a bit to go to family events and being literally the only single person and people asking me if I have a girlfriend yet. My little sister, who's a lot younger than me, has someone. The feeling of just being lonely sucks, and I feel insecure when everyone in my family has someone and I don't. It's hard not to think that maybe there's something wrong with me. It would be great to just have a stable relationship and have someone who I can come home to every day and relax with. With moving to a different state and COVID, my social life mainly consists of work friends who are all much older than me with wife and kids. Those couple friends I'm close to are single too and in other states, but it's nice to have someone to chat with that's in the same boat. All my other friends who are married or in long-term relationship time is spent with their wives or girlfriends, which of course is understandable. The few girls that show interest in me, I don't want, and the girls I want are taken or don't want me. I have been in 3 relationships in the past and with a number of hookups, so I don't think I'm completely undesirable. I would like something more fulfilling and meaningful like a relationship. I'm college educated, have a respectable job, I work out, a good head on my shoulders, from what I've been told. I've been told I'm good looking, and then told I have a good and inviting personality. Most of the women I meet at the moment are through dating apps, and I get matches here and there. But a lot of the times I swipe right just to see what I can get, and the ones I do match with I find unattractive. I don't think I'm that picky, but I would just like someone who just brings something to the table, like has a career, takes care of themselves, etc. I match with someone who is decent every once in a while, and even then it's hard to just get them to respond, let alone go out on a date. Just seems like online dating is everyone trying to shoot for someone above them. This has always been a part of my life that's lacking at this age. I just want to settle down and build something meaningful with someone. Any tips would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, start going out with some of those women that you find unattractive, you little dweeb. You sitting up there looking at a picture on the fucking internet and judging somebody's attractiveness. I know that's what people do on those swipey things, but it's ridiculous. As you see, it's not getting you anywhere, right? You keep doing the same shit, right? Is it working for you? No. So, the kind of thing is you're looking at a picture and you're judging just from that if someone is unattractive. You haven't met the person, haven't talked to them. At a certain point, when you get with somebody, the attractiveness sometimes is surprising because you change, your mind changes, and what you thought you would be attracted to is actually different because that person resonates with you on a mental and emotional level that's far deeper than what you see with your eyes. And any woman becomes more beautiful when she's loved. Okay, men become more handsome as well. This is like a different kind of confidence exudes from people, and they look better. Okay. So I'm saying, judging by what you have written here, you are not ready. You say that you are. You're probably getting ready, but you're not ready for anything serious because you still stuck on stupid. You still worrying about what somebody looks like. That's not how you pick a wife or girlfriend, you idiot. You pick the woman for how she makes you feel in your heart, in your body, about yourself. And that is not indicated by what she looks like on a swipey thing. So this is my prescription for you. You got the women that you match with, every single woman that matches with you, you're gonna go out with her at least one time. That's what you're gonna start doing. You're gonna have a coffee date. You're gonna do something. I mean, I don't know what people do on these swipey dates, but the COVID dates now. But that's what you're gonna start doing. Every single one. You're going to meet them. You're going to talk to them. You're going to get your little narrow ass out the house and you're going to start interacting with people. The worst that'll happen is you won't meet up with them again. What might happen is that they could become a friend or introduce you to other people, somebody to hang out with, go clubbing with, have drinks with and stuff. You could meet their friends. This is an opportunity for you because if she was at least interested enough to like you and what is it, swipe right? I don't know what it is. Swipe right, swipe left, whatever. Which one is the one where you reject them? Is that left? I don't know because I've never been on the swipey thing, but this is my advice to you because you are just being stupid about this whole thing. You crying and whining. You wrote 18 paragraphs of bullshit about how you want somebody, oh my friends, and this and that, but you're not doing anything to change your situation. You still want to sit up there and be all picky wicky and talk about, well, I'm swiping and stuff, and they're not attractive. Just by looking at a picture for 3 seconds, you think you can judge somebody's attractiveness like that? Get your ass off of the swipey thing and get off into the real world. I'm telling you, this is your prescription for the month of the rest of December into the mid-January. 30 days, this is what you're going to do. Everybody that you match with, that likes you, that swipes on you, you're going to meet them. Okay? That's what you're going to do. You need to stop picking because your picker's off. You don't know how to pick somebody. You're going to let them pick you for a change and you just going to roll with it. That's what you're going to do. Okay? And then you write me back. Tell me how it worked out for you. Because I'm thinking this is going to be the way to get for you to get a girlfriend finally, and it's going to be somebody you're going to be amazed that you would thought, well, I would have never thought, I would have never picked her, but she just makes me so happy. I can't wait to see her every day. She's wonderful. She makes me feel so good as a man. That's what you're looking for, you little idiot. Oh, God, men are so stupid. Well, he says that all people tell him he has a good personality and all this old shit here. But maybe they just blowing smoke up his ass. I don't know because people don't send pictures, and that's not really important anyway. The main thing is he's not really, he's not really utilizing the swipey things in a way that's going to get him what he wants. He's using it in a way that's stupid and typical of little immature guys. They go on by what the woman looks like. Well, there's like 10% of women that's every man's wet dream, and all the dudes are chasing that chick, and we're all the other women, the ones who are educated and lovely and have great personalities and want to come from wonderful families and stuff. They're on there and they're looking for somebody too, but you're not picking them because they don't look like your wet dream. You little idiots. Yeah, they shallow as hell and just retarded. Ugh, just stupid. Man, if I was your mother, I'd be kicking your ass right about now. Question number 13, female, 31 to 39, from Alexandria, Virginia. My fiance and I have been together for about 3 years. Friends for 10. When we first started dating, I was living on my own in a large city and him back in our hometown with his parents. I was 25 and he was 27. Hmm. So what are you now, 35 and 37? Wow. Throughout our relationship, I decided to move home to continue, and then we became engaged. Until I moved back to our hometown, I had lived on my own since I was 20. We lived with his parents until we bought a house a couple of months ago. He lived with his parents until he was 30 years old. Since moving in together, we have started fighting more, and it typically surrounds his lack of essentially doing things on his own. A few examples are cleaning the bathroom. I had to write out a detailed list, step by step, products to use, etc., on how to clean the bathroom. I have to ask him to clean if I ever need help. We started therapy, and our therapist stated that he needed to eat better, and she even had him tell him to meal prep or maybe cook dinner once a week, so I don't always have to do it. When he does cook, I feel like I'm doing it anyways because he's constantly asking questions about what to pick up from the store, how to cook the food, what to season it with, etc. He also discusses big things with his parents without even consulting me, i.e., buying a new car. He didn't even know how to properly write a check when we first moved into our house because his mother always did it for him. Needless to say, his mother always did everything for him and babied him literally until he was 30. When we talk about things in therapy, he would change his behaviors for a few days and then revert back to old behaviors. I feel like every time we talk about things, go to therapy, fight about things, I'm wasting my time because as stated before, we'll change for a couple of days and revert right back to the same thing. How do I help him stick with things? I've tried to be patient, but I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what else to do, and I'm getting to the point where I just cannot live like this any longer. How do I get him to act like a responsible and fully functioning adult? I know that sounds harsh, but I've been trying to help him and I am exhausted because I'm essentially taking the place of his mother and having to do everything for him. Any advice would be appreciated because I do love him and want to get married, but I cannot marry someone that I feel like I have to mother. I feel like that would just be setting myself up for failure when it comes to major things happening in our life, such as having kids, dealing with larger issues, etc., because I have to bear the weight of it all and would have little to no help from my partner. Help me. Yep, you fucked up. You fucked up big time. Okay, now, so see, you started living on your own when you were 20 years old. You are super independent, high functioning, all that. Okay, resourceful, all that. He's a big ass baby. His mother fucked him up. Okay, and I'm just surprised that you didn't notice any of this in 10 years. You never noticed that he didn't know how to do anything and was like his mother was hovering and babying him and stuff. You didn't notice that. I'm trying to figure out how you didn't notice that he was leaning too much on his mama. Now you done bought a house together. What you gonna have to do, you're gonna either have to buy him out or sell the house and then break up because this is stupid. Just as you surmised, if you married this, you would have not only whatever baby you carried in your womb, you would have this 6 foot tall, 200-pound baby too. You're already exhausted and you all ain't even married, you don't even have no kids yet. This is going nowhere. The only way this would work is if you had a nanny and a maid. Then neither one of you would have to clean up or cook or anything because you'd be paying people to do it. That's one solution. But if you think that you're going to do this and that you're going to try to get him to grow up and you're going to change him and your love is going to be enough to make him be a better man, you dreaming, chick. He is what he is. He's 30 years old. That ship has sailed. Okay? He's a nut, an irresponsible dweeb, and there's nothing you can do with this. So I suggest, just like when you go fishing and you have them little deformed fish that's too small, you have to throw them back. Yeah, that's what you need to do with them. Throw this fish back, send him back over there to his mama, and write him a check and buy him out of the house. And then you live in your house and you find you a real man. Okay. And make sure what if you buy the house that if you do move forward like that and buy him out the house, make sure any other guy that you move in with or you let live there, whatever, you have him sign a quit claim deed before he steps foot up in there. Okay, so he has no claim on your house. You don't have to get a prenup, but you do need to make sure that you can't mess with your house because that's yours. Okay, that's your house. It should stay your house forever. Yours, only yours. So do it, speak to an attorney and figure out what to do about that to make sure that that happens. But handle your business and get the rate of get rid of him. He's just useless. I just can't believe you wasted 10 years of your life with this fool. By the time I had to write, I felt like not had to, felt like he didn't know enough to clean the bathroom and that he wanted me to give him a list or I had to help him with step by step cooking. I would have been like, you don't know how to use YouTube? Google. All that. Those are great resources for the clueless. Make it work. Get out of my face. I'm not your mother. I would have reminded him of that. I can't get excited about a man that I have to be his mommy. That's some that don't work for me. I need to respect you. If you're going to be my lover, I need to respect you as a mature man. I can't have you like babying you and like treating you like a child and then get excited about sleeping with you. That just does not compute in my book. I don't know where they do that at. But, the fact that you could do that is kind of shocking to me. But you're going to have to rethink this relationship. I know it's going to be hard because you've invested 10 years and it's really hard for women to accept the fact that the man that they spend all this time with is a waste of time. But that's what you did. You done wasted 10 years of your life. Your whole 20s was wasted with this idiot. Question number 14, female, 20 to 30, out of Eugene, Oregon. I've been with my partner for 4 years. He's trustworthy, kind, caring, all those great qualities. Throughout the 4 years, he has had moments where he is very down when reflecting on his life. It offends me because my view is that as long as I have him, I am happy. He doesn't think this way. I'm asking for help on what to do, how to support him, or what I need to do for myself. Number one, he is in a dead-end job and wants to leave but doesn't know what else to do. For the past 4 years, he has ups and downs and continues to complain about his job. I've always encouraged him to look somewhere else, but I'm getting tired of repeating myself. Loser. We bought a house together, which originally he liked, but now complains about everything he doesn't like about the house. This is very frustrating. It's ruining the excitement. It makes me feel like he is ungrateful. Number three, we have plans to have kids and get married one day. Hopefully kids next year. No, don't be stupid. If you ain't married, you don't have no kids. Your womb is tied up. Okay, don't be dumb. And especially he's a loser and he don't have no money. Lately, I've been doubting the relationship. My partner can be very kind and patient, happy, but he can also be very ungrateful. He has been having frequent mood swings. He appears to have no direction or long-term vision and goals. Me, on the other hand, I have big goals like wanting to pay off a house, working on ways to be financially free, and lots of other visions. I feel unappreciated and taken for granted. I feel like having a breakaway so that maybe we will learn to realize that he has so much in front of him. I don't doubt that he loves me. I'm very secure in that. What I worry about is that he complains about his life often, doesn't look at the bigger picture, and doesn't stick to long-term goals. This is bringing me down. What would you do? I would be out. Boop. First of all, when I don't know, see, my standards are just different. And I've always been like that. I've always said, I don't care what a guy does. As long as he makes decent money, you know what I mean? And that decent varies from across the country and even from country to country, what is a decent wage. So you can't just say, well, he has to make $100,000 because, $100,000 here in the San Francisco Bay Area ain't shit. $100,000 in, I don't know, some town in Ohio somewhere, that might be a fortune. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying you have to, whatever the guy does, I want him to be happy doing it. I want him to be fulfilled at his work. It be meaningful to him and for him to make a good wage while he's doing it. Okay, that's whatever you want to do. You could haul dog shit. I don't care what you do as long as you happy doing it. Okay, but he's not happy. He's complaining. Okay, but he's been complaining for 4 years. Has he done anything to make a difference? No. All he wants to do is complain. See, I don't do that. Nagging, whining, complaining shit. Mm-mm. And then you sitting up there, you made this mistake and you bought a house with him. Why did you do that? See, what you're focusing on is all your goals, and you're not looking at who you're trying to accomplish them with. You're trying to make this person who is a bum, fit your ideal of this, together happening, progressive dude that's a go getter. That's not the dude that you have. So if that's the dude that you want and you have all these goals and stuff, you with the wrong chap here, chick. And what you need to do is say, well, let me buy you out or let's sell this house and we're going to break up. That's what you need to do. And then you need to go and find you a guy, probably for you, a slightly older man who's a little more established, somebody in his 30s. And still young, but a little more, way more mature than this dweeb that you fucking with. And you're gonna keep your birth control game tight so you can escape this situation without any children by him. That would be the boneheadedest move you've ever made in your life. Then you'd be stuck with him forever. That would be stupid. Okay, because all these dreams that you have of all these accomplishments and doing all that stuff, that would go up in smoke because you would be having this big complaining baby and another and an infant too. Mm-mm. I don't understand these young girls want to have kids with idiots. I just don't understand it. You feel unappreciated, taken for granted, and you want to break up. That's a good idea. And it's bringing you down. At least you recognize it. Now do something about it. Okay? Question 15, female, 20 to 30 out of the UK. Deb, I'm shaking as I'm typing this. Just had a wild argument with my man a few minutes ago. I was being passive aggressive cleaning up because he's passing out. Can't even sit up straight because he's drunk again. He started drinking wine at 8 a.m. this morning. I've done that. We're in the process of him moving in with me, but during said argument, he was packing things to leave. He just snapped and squared up to me. What? I told him, wait a minute. I told him not to and asked him to not to make the argument worse by bringing violence into it. He has admitted hitting his ex in the past. I generally thought he was going to hit me. I was mentally preparing for it. In the end, I pushed him away and he just picked up his stuff and left. I blocked the door, but I'm shaking. I was so scared he would hurt my pets. I'm sorry this is so rambly because I'm still not thinking straight. What should I do? Girl, you should put all his shit that he didn't take with him in a box and put it on the outside of your door. Call a locksmith if he has a key, or even if he doesn't, because he might have made one when you wasn't looking. Change your locks. Go onto your phone and your carrier's website, like I always say, that's the best place to do it, and block his number. Go into your email account. Send his email to the spam folder. Go on your social media accounts. Unfriend, block on every social media account that you have. And then get you a gun or some other kind of vicious dog or something so that if he should try to come up in there and start his little violent routine, you can have your dog bite his throat. Or you can shoot him. Whatever way works for you. But see, once they start squaring up on you, that's a wrap. Really, with me, once I found out that he had hit some other woman, I wouldn't have fucked with him. I'm just not going to do that. Because I already know my mouth, it's just not going to be a matter of time before you want to be fighting me, and then you're going to be dead. Okay? Because as soon as unless you just touch me like this, but if you grab me, you want to be doing anything like this and shaking me or anything like that, see, that's when Roscoe comes out. And then bad things start happening. So no, we're not going to do that. So you need to get yourself away from this dude. You're not going to move in with him in case that wasn't clear. You're going to end this relationship. This guy is stupid. He's a drunk and he's violent. I don't know what you was thinking, but whatever it was, you better get your mind right. And don't let him come crying back talking about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, all this kind of stuff. He meant everything that he did. He meant it all. So, why would you want to be with somebody who's a drunk, getting up drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning? Well, we would be drinking at 8 o'clock because we had finished from partying the night before. It was one of them after party situations. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, we was still partying and about to eat breakfast and continue the fun. That's when my young days when I was wild. But this dude got to go. Scared he would hurt your pets. Psh, that would be a call to police. Um, where are you? Oh, you in the UK. Yeah, you please get rid of him. Do what I told you. Change your locks. Change them like tomorrow. And make sure that you stay far, far away from this guy. Don't let him back up in your house. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere with him. Don't meet him anywhere for a last conversation. Goodbye. A lot of women end up dead doing that shit, feeling sorry for him. It's like, well, he just wants to talk. I'm just gonna meet him. And the next thing you know, your body's floating in the river, or they can't find you and stuff like that. You don't give a fuck about his feelings about you leaving him. He shouldn't act stupid if he had feelings about it. So you be very careful with this situation with this guy. Is not wrapped too tight, and he's a drunk and he's violent, and he has a history of violence against women. So take all of that into consideration and be very, very careful with this. Do everything you can to put barriers in place and block him. Well, I don't know. She's in the UK. That's why I had to make sure because I don't know what the standards are for getting an order of protection because he didn't actually do anything to her. He squared up on her and he used some bad words. So, I mean, here, he- he didn't even threaten her. She said he just squared up on her. So that not, and then he left. But it was uneventful. So that to me, doesn't meet the standard of a order of protection, and I think the courts would agree. However, it does meet the standard of her staying far, far, far the fuck away from him because he's stupid. You know. So on that, I think we're all in agreement. I don't think that she wouldn't be granted an order of protection, not for that. Question number 16, female 20 to 30 from Dayton, Ohio. So yesterday I had a disagreement with my boyfriend. Oh, we've been together since January. It all started via text. Then I got this message from him. Fuck off. I hate you. Wow. You're a damn piece of shit. Fuck off. Take your issues to some other C star star T. Okay, I think I know what that's supposed to be. I've tried to explain to him so many times I have no confidence. He regularly says negative things about my appearance. These by far outweigh the compliments, which are very few. I was previously in a relationship involving domestic violence. He knows this and knows that this was partly what destroyed my confidence. I guess that's why he says I'm damaged. After an hour, he said he was sorry, but then almost immediately got angry again. Seriously, how do I sort myself out? I see that I need to work on myself, but I've never denied that to myself or him. But obviously, I need to work on myself, and I have no idea where to start. I just feel like I'm worthless and no good to anyone. I have no idea what to do. What you do is get your little ass to a near shrink. That's what you do. You don't have the skills to do anything with this. Certainly, they have therapists in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, find one, preferably a female, preferably somebody that specializes in domestic violence and the impact that it has on a woman's psyche. That's what you need. So you can start working on this. Number one is the main number one thing that I want to tell you right now. And it's something I tell young women all the time. Shut your goddamn mouth. Stop telling men about any issue that you have where you were victimized by some other motherfucker. You don't ever tell them that. Okay, that's not their business. You keep that to yourself. You tell your shrink, you tell your diary maybe, if you got it locked up somewhere where nobody could read it. But other than that, you don't tell anybody that because any new dude coming in your life, all they're going to do is use that against you. That's what they do. And this is a perfect example of it. You don't tell men that kind of stuff. You guys, I don't know how many times do I have to say that? It drives me crazy. You run your mouths. You just want to spill your guts and just tell these dudes all this stuff about you, stuff they don't need to know. This is before you ever met him. Why does he need to know that? Just like how many men you slept with, he don't need to know that either. How much money you make, he don't need to know that either. You're not married to him. Why would he need to know all of your income and your debts and all that stuff? It's none of his business. Okay, see, in this thing, he's saying all this foul stuff to you, and you stay in a relationship with him. Why? Why would you let someone treat you like that and talk to you like that, and you stay in a relationship with him? See, that's what your shrink needs to explore with you. This is verbal violence, it's psychological warfare, it's emotional warfare. Even if he doesn't put his hands on you, he's still breaking you down and beating you. And you are staying in the relationship. Yes, domestic violence is a part of it. But even then, there's a mindset for a woman who would stay in a situation and not try to kill that man for putting his hands on her. There's two kinds of women. It's the ones that's going to fight you back and try to kill you and probably succeed. And then there's those who are going to take it and stay in a relationship. Okay? There's two kinds. Dudes better know which kind they fucking with before they end up pushing up daisies. Because some of those women, we ain't playing that. We're not going to do that. You got one time. And after that, you're going to be sorry. Even if I don't kill you, I'm going to chop your hands off or something so you can't hit nobody else. Hit somebody with that nub you got now. Let's see how that's going to work for you. So, that kind of stuff. I I'm very sorry that this is happening to you, but you say you don't know, you need to work on yourself, but you don't know where to start. You're going to put your hands self into the hands of a professional who does this kind of work. You're not equipped to do it, and I'm way over here. I can't help you. But I can definitely tell you what you need to do, and that's what you need to do. It's two steps. You're going to shut your mouth, and you're going to stop telling men that you meet all this stuff about yourself and your past, and then you're going to find a good shrink, and you're going to go once or twice a week as long as they see you until you get this until you get this straight. Okay? No fight. Shut up, Arlie. This is terrible. Question 17. We're almost done. This is 17 of 20. Thanks everybody for coming through. If you have not hit the like button, please hit it. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, please do become one. We definitely appreciate that. Still trying to hit that 20. We got a couple of weeks to go. I don't know how it's going to get as we get close to hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So, hit the subscribe button. So let's move on to question number 17. Female 31 to 39 out of Nottingham, England. Wow, Nottingham. I completely had enough of my relationship. Well, we've been together for 10 years. It took him ages to propose and want to start a family. I wanted to move things along. By the time he allowed us to start trying, it didn't happen as I had undiagnosed endo. That's endometriosis, I'm assuming. Fast forward 4 years of trying, including multiple IVF rounds, and we have our baby girl born this autumn. Husband has a big job made worse by COVID. Hardly saw him during the pregnancy. Baby arrived and he's back to work, leaving little time for me and the baby. He had the option to scale back at work whilst the baby is small, but chose not to. Doesn't come up with things to do, however, limited. Thanks, Amanda. Doesn't okay, now no time to watch films. Lots of sat on his phone. Talking to people from work out of hours. I have to ask him what few days in a month we can do things, which I then plan, and then he complains that he doesn't have time, generally full of his own self-importance. Leaves his crap everywhere and always has done. Carrier bags and clothes on every floor of the house. Can't clean up after himself without being told what to do. Continually have to manage him. No romance, which I really don't expect with a newborn, but the lack of effort all around really pisses me off. Had some bad medical news about the baby recently, which has added to stress. Baby will be fine, but we need to get our heads around it, and I've taken this quite badly. We are arguing like crazy with the tiny baby, which isn't great. Can't see things improving. He seems today it is interested in listening and acting upon my concerns to improve the relationship. I feel so much better when he isn't here. Can and should I leave him? Baby will stay with me as they will not part with her. Well, I'm going to say this. At a certain point, you was together for 10 years. Okay, so let's see. 4 years. You don't say when and that you got when you got engaged, how long you guys have been married, but you had 4 years of trying to get pregnant, and then you had a baby that was born in this fall. So let's just say 5 years you was waiting around for him to propose. Why would you wait 5 years in your 30s for a man to do anything? That happens when we're in our 20s because people are finishing up grad school and trying to get their career started and all that kind of stuff, moving out from their parents, that might be a realistic thing, and at that age, maybe. I wouldn't do it then either, but a lot of people do and it works fine. But you're in your 30s, you don't wait 5 years for nothing. You motherfucker got 2 years tops. Two tops. And so the whatever, situation that you had in your relationship that it's already peaked and it's on the downhill stroke. Let me just put this to be blunt. This guy has no interest in you, no interest in the marriage, no interest in his child. So that to me is a trifecta of fail. So I don't think he would even notice that you weren't there. It would leave him more time to do whatever he's doing, talking to his coworkers and being mad and dropping his shit all over the floor. So you figure out what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, and then you move out. You can set up a visitation schedule with him if you so choose to, but don't expect him to adhere to it because he just not gonna know what to do with a new baby. He's not gonna know what to do with it. So that probably won't happen. Even if the court set him up with visitation, he won't show up. So just be prepared for that. If you want to go somewhere, you're going to need to get a sitter. So think about how much money all of this is going to cost and how you're going to do this, where you're going to live, daycare for the baby. Get all your ducks in a row. Get your divorce papers, and then when you're ready to move, you serve him the papers. You have the process server. I don't know. That's in Nottingham, England. I'm not sure how that works there, but whatever way you need to get him served to, that the divorce is in process, you make that happen as you're on your way out the door so that he don't have to stay there with him knowing that he's getting a divorce. You give him the papers or serve him after you leave, whatever way you want to do it. But you get yourself and the baby to some situation that's safe, and then you start worrying about ending this joke of a marriage. Question number 18, male, 22 to 30 from San Antonio, Texas. So I have this college friend who I recently got back in contact with. She contacted me out of the blue and she basically asked to meet up. This meetup was for her to tell me that she's been going through it because of an ugly breakup. So as of late, we've been getting to know each other while still remaining friends. She has invited me over her house. I've got acquainted with her mother twice already. Anywho, the last time we hung out at her house, we were celebrating her graduating from college. I had gotten her a gift that she was really moved by. Before I end up leaving that night, her mother quickly asked, "What am I doing Wednesday night at 6 p.m.?" I say, "Nothing. Why?" She basically invited me over, but the thing is, her daughter, my friend, had no idea. I don't want to make things weird between the friend and I if I go ahead and show up unannounced to her. This was something the guy in her previous relationship did. Should I go ahead and go over to her house without letting my friend know? I assume it would be for dinner. Don't assume, young lad. Mama could be trying to get her swerve on since you and her daughter are just friends, you know? Oh, she's not just going through postpartum. Did you not hear everything that dude is doing? He's a fucking loser. That's not postpartum when you get sick of a motherfucker that's not spending no time with you. He don't help out with the baby and he throws shit all over the floor. You don't spend no time with him and he doesn't even want to talk to you. That's not postpartum depression. That's a real fucked up relationship. There's a joke of a marriage. That's what that is. Don't be trying to blame that on her. Now, on this situation here with this mother, just to cover your ass, young lad, I would highly suggest that you talk to your friend. Oh, and say it in a way that's like all conversational and friendly. Guess what? Your mother asked me if I could come over on Wednesday at 6. Uh, what are you guys gonna have for dinner? I'm gonna be getting my stomach ready for the food because your mom is a good cook. I mean, something that's gonna cover it up, and so she can be like, oh, uh, What did she invite you over for again? So she can go and jam her mother up. So then her mother will know that you tell stuff and you're not going to be tipping around behind your friend's back trying to line up nothing with her. Just in case. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying it's highly suspect because the normal approach is the mother would tell her child that she has a relationship with, tell your friend, invite your friend over for dinner on Wednesday. I plan to have dinner ready about 6. Okay, that's how normal people do it. Normal parents, they don't go invite the person themselves. They tell their child to invite the person because it's their child's friend, their child's girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. That's how that normally goes. So this is kind of, it's making me raise my eyebrow. The way of doing it, especially she did it when the girl wasn't around. I don't know. Like I'm saying, I'm not swearing that that's it, but it's highly suspect. It makes me wonder. So just to cover your ass and to not, have any drama, that's how you need to approach this with your friend and put everything on the table. Say, or you could even just say, oh, I thought I was going to be able to make it over there for on Wednesday. Your mom invited me, but something came up. I'm not going to be able to come. Something like that to dip out. But whatever you do, whatever way path you choose to take, you need to let your friend know what her mother did. Because I wouldn't be trying to put myself in the middle of that. Because see, like you said, you guys aren't, you're not her boyfriend. You just some, handsome young man coming around the house. Mom's like, ooh, look at him. What's really going on? What your name is? Mom trying to get her swerve on. I can't blame her though. Yeah, mama got some intentions. Yeah, get her swerve on. Just like, this is funny. But some of these people, they start having kids when they 14 and stuff, 13, 14, 15 years old. So she might be that much older than her daughter. You know what I mean? So, and then we don't know, is this girl the oldest, the youngest? Where is she in this lineup? So the mom, they might be all right. I'm just saying. Question number 19 of 20. We got 20 questions today. Male, 50 to 59, out of San Jose, California. I'm a recently turned 50-year-old white male. Oh, here we go again. In fairness, I get told a lot that I don't look my age. Yesterday, I got a match from a very attractive 25-year-old African American woman. Oh, okay, I can see why he said the race now. Is she a bot or which one of her Instagram, Snapchat, or OnlyFans page does she want me to follow? To my surprise, no, and she messaged me first. However, very much to my surprise, she is quite real and seemed to want to have a normal conversation. We spent the day texting back and forth, and it was a nice conversation. We are both in tech, so we have that in common as well. Okay. This morning, she hit me with a good morning message first thing, and we texted all day after exchanging numbers. She actually lives within 10 miles of me. Not once during our conversation was there a mention of another website, a request for money, or a suggestion of a, quote, mutually beneficial relationship. Wow, folks is bold. Her pictures are real, and she's smart, funny, educated, and very pretty. She's been very transparent, and everything she has told me to this point has checked out. We are now having dinner later this week, and as the title says, I'm cautiously optimistic. Oh, he must mean the subject of his letter. So, what am I missing? I tend to believe in the if it's too good to be true mantra, but don't want to be so cynical that I can't accept that maybe sometimes good things can happen. So, let's see. How old were you? You're 50 and she's 25, and you're white and she's black, but you don't look your age. And she hasn't asked you for anything. So I'm going to say this, if the girl is in tech, that means that she's smart. She got her shit together because it's not a whole bunch of black women in tech in Silicon Valley. Some, but not a lot. Okay, so the fact that she's already there at only 25, she's a mover and a shaker. So she probably knows what she wants. Okay? And if you say that you don't look your age, you might be the good looking dude. And she saw that. She was like, ooh, hi, what your name is? And then she started texting you. So I'm going to say this. Don't be suspicious until you have a reason to be. Go out with the young lady. See what she's talking about. Because, at 25 and having done all that, She might be more like emotionally mature, you know, of a 30 or 35-year-old woman. You just, you don't know what her situation is. What's she been doing with her life? Is she like from a foreign country and she's traveled a lot? Was she an army brat? I mean, what's her story? What's her educational level? This kind of stuff. You don't know that. So I'm going to say at least go out to dinner, have a good time getting to know her, and see what jumps off. This could be something really good. I mean, even if it's not like a grand romance, it still could be a great person for you to have met. You know what I mean? And for both of you guys to meet each other. You just never know about these things. But it sounds like, it's starting off as a pretty normal situation. You find her attractive. Obviously, since she hit you up first, she must be attracted to you some kind of way. So just go for it, dude. I'm so nosy. I just want to know what's gonna happen. Where do you go? What you eat? What she say? What was she wearing? What you look at? What you say? Did you get a number? You get her house? Did you invite her yours? What happened? I just want to know. I'm just nosy. Yeah, you right, Diane. I just saw Diana said being a granny at 30. Yep. I had a cousin who was a grandmother at 28. She had her baby at 14, and her daughter had a baby at 14. So here, 28 years old, she was a grandmother. It happens. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, you think, oh, that's my daughter's friend. It's not really, the age gap is not it's not so extreme that it would be like eyebrow raising. Okay. Oh, you swirling? Go, Trace. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, but California, this happens all the time, especially here in the Bay Area. I mean, everybody dating everybody. So you see interracial relationships, you don't even raise your eyebrow anymore. It's just boring. So it's like, okay, and but I guess he, was he's feeling a little nervous about it, so he wrote in. But just calm down, go out to dinner, and just enjoy yourself. Don't put too much on it. It's just a date, just a first date, okay? And the final question of the night, question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 30 age group from Wellington, New Zealand. My question is directed to you, Deb, as well as the listeners. I want to know from women who were initially child free that ended up having children because of their significant other, how did it work out? I'm going through this dilemma right now and I'm trying to gauge if giving in and having a child because the guy you're with wants one is ever the right thing to do. No, it's not. First of all, you didn't say nothing about this being your husband. You said the guy you're with. Husband and the guy you with are two completely different things. You don't be breeding with miscellaneous stray boyfriends. Okay? Don't do it. Using your womb to reproduce his DNA is a fucking privilege that should be denied unless you are married. And even then, sometimes, as we saw from some of these examples, even then, that's just not a good decision. But I'm going to say this, having children is such an important decision. And as a woman, not only do you suffer your body changing, okay, and some women don't make it. They die in childbirth or have all kinds of other things that happen to them that they never recover from. So in spite of all these medical advances that we have, the childbirth issue and maternal death and all that stuff, the maternal death rate is shockingly high, especially for women of color, even right here in the United States. For black women in the New York area, that tri-state area, it's like that of a third world country. If I was a sister, I wouldn't be having shit if I lived in the New York area. I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna go somewhere else and have my kid, like to Houston or some San Francisco or somewhere, and then go back. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm going to say this. It not only is it physical, high physical risk and the changes that may be permanent, you also are giving up your life for the rest of your life. Because even though you have a child and you raise it to adulthood and stuff, do you think that you stop caring because that child's an adult now? You still worry about them. You still worry about how are they okay? Are they upset? I mean, is there anything you can do to help them? You still have those concerns as their mother. You're always happy to see them. This whole thing like that. You want the best for them. That's energy that you're giving out. Okay, and then when they're little, they can't do anything for themselves. You got to feed them and clothe them. You take them to the doctor. Something happens, you got to miss work because you got to stay home and take care of them. You shuttling them back and forth to daycare. You're cleaning up after them. You're buying them clothes. You're doing stuff. Okay, you're the main one. Like, and I tell people, even I remember reading some stories about in the Vietnam War, the soldiers there, they're on the battlefield dying. They always call for their mama. They never call for their daddy. So what does that tell you? Mothers are very important to their children. Children are very important to your mother. So it's like a job where you're going to be sacrificing a lot of your dreams, your hopes, your bodies, your time, your energy for this little person or those little persons. Are you prepared to do that for the rest of your life? If you are not, then do not have children. Thanks, Felicia. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I don't care how much he wants one. What the fuck is you a breed mare now? No. And it's like, what do guys do when they have a kid? They don't do shit. They don't even want to change diapers. And if they do something, they want to feel like, well, I'm helping. No, this is your half. You went in half on this baby. So it's not about me, you helping me do nothing. This is half your responsibility. How many of them actually step up and do that, though? So I'm giving you a reality check. I'm trying to, make this. I want you to really think about this from a realistic perspective. The money that it costs to raise and educate and feed and clothe a child is the last time I looked at this was several years ago was $230,000. Okay, that's a lot of money, especially for people making like minimum wage or something slightly above. You have an issue there that you have to consider. Either your kid, and they do drying up with the college scholarships and all that kind of stuff. So your kid's going to get a higher education and be all in debt. That's why I think tech school is the answer for some people till they get out of, they can earn some money, and if they want to go back and get that degree. But at least they've got something and they can make some good money in tech. There's always work there. Um, and as a woman, I don't know. I think a lot of women think they want a baby and they want to, have a quote family with their man, and they have this little image in their mind of, happily ever after and all this stuff. And they're not really thinking about the work and the impact on their lives. I'm telling you, you better think real hard, and you don't do it unless you're married. Don't do it. And like I said, even then, it's kind of 50-50. If you have any doubts, there's a video on this channel that I put together for women exactly in your predicament. And it's called, I'll try to remember to link to it up here. And it's called When Women Find Out That Motherhood Is Not All That. That's the title of the video. And you take a look at that and get an idea of the things that I say and the changes these ladies have gone through, and see if that's something that you really want to be bothered with. Before birth control, women didn't have that option. You got married and you had kids because they didn't have birth control pills. Women was doing the rhythm method and all these kind of things, and having backdoor undercover abortions when they didn't have any money and all this kind of stuff, dying on the tables and whatnot in order to have a life free of 900 kids. But that you don't have to worry about that now. There's many, many, many options to prevent you from having a child unless you absolutely want one. I suggest you avail yourself of them until you are absolutely positive that you're willing to sacrifice yourself for a kid, because that's exactly what it is. I don't care what people try to romanticize it and talk about, oh my God, it's a blessing from Jesus and God, and it's all this old stuff here, and it's wonderful and this and that. They're lying like dogs. They are lying. They just want you to be stuck in that trick bag with them. Because misery loves company. So they try to get as many young women trapped in that bullshit as possible by telling you all that stuff. They don't tell you the real deal, how your kids and then don't have a special needs kid or one that's like all fucked up and need to be in a wheelchair or something like that. Then, and here you are, a young woman, single parent, trying to figure out what, because the dude is going to sky up and leave. They be out when it's something like that because they can't handle it. So that means you're going to be stuck with that kid by yourself. Are you prepared for that? What you gonna do? I straight told my husband, I said, if we have a kid that is all messed up and it needs all that kind of stuff, it's going in a home. And he didn't believe me. He said, that's cold. I said, well, then you could take care of it. But I already know I'm not cut out for that. I'm not cut out for that. I don't even like myself when I'm sick. So what would I look like? I'm telling you right now, you better have some good DNA when you have a baby, because I'm not gonna stick around for that. I straight told him. And he was just like stunned. But I was very honest. And I meant every word of it, and I still do. So, you have to know yourself, and you have to know what your limits are and your boundaries and what you can will and will not sacrifice of yourself. Because once you have a kid, it's on like Donkey Kong for at least 18 years. Okay. Yeah, they do. They do bounce when a kid. They bounce when the women gets an issue. They just weak in the mind, can't handle it. The men who can't stick around and do it are very rare. Most of them leave. You can read all the statistics about women who get cancer and how many husbands abandon them after years and years of marriage because they can't quote handle it. So you better think about this real, on a level where you're thinking about yourself. Don't think about him and what he wants. He can go adopt a kid if he wants one so damn bad. Get a dog or some shit. That's what you really need. You want something to come and wag its tail at you and be all excited to see you when you come home. Get a goddamn German Shepherd. That's what you do. And then every 10, 12, 15 years, when that one dies, you can get a new one. Just like, that's what you do. But you can't do that with kids. You have to be consistent. And they cost a lot more money than a pet. So that's what I would say. You want something to take care of, get you a puppy. You see a little motherfucker piss on the floor and cry all night and stuff. That's just like having a baby. Just like it. I'm just being real. You guys know how I do it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna just tell you how it is. And oh, it was so sad. Yeah, I started watching a video like that. I don't know if it was the same one. And I just I don't know. So I'm on this thing to tell young women, be realistic about what you can and cannot do, and can and cannot accept for yourself. What your dreams are. Okay, are you what's gonna make you happy in life? Choose yourself always. Always, always, always. That's our 1 month programming coming up in February, what we call Debruary. Be our fourth annual video a day Debruary coming up in February of 2021. I hope you guys become a subscriber so you can participate in that. And I also want to tell everybody I've been getting complaints of people saying that they're not getting their notifications. Please go and check if you are a subscriber, check your subscription and make sure it's still active because YouTube, I don't know what kind of funny business is going on, but they've been like unsubscribing people. And again, the people didn't want to be unsubscribed, but they were like, "How come I'm not getting your notifications anymore? Your videos aren't showing up on my feed anymore." And I'm like, "I don't know," but they go and check, and they've been unsubscribed. So double check your subscription, settings, and make sure that everything is as it should be. And you might want to do that every so often because this is the third or fourth time I've heard that that's happened. But anyway, you guys, I want to thank you for sitting in with me. I did not get to do a video this weekend with my cousin. I got up there and it was, she was having some family issues. And so we didn't get, that was like the last thing on our mind. We had dealt with some other stuff, but I will try to get something in. We are going to do a Sunday sermon this weekend. And I'm going to be talking about what makes a man high value because that term keeps getting thrown around. Okay, our Sunday sermon this week, high value men, what is that? And I will give you my definition, and we're going to talk about, what's socially going on. How guys think that they're high value, and they really not. So we'll be talking about that because this term's been thrown around too much, and it's just really bothering me that so many of these dudes think they're high value just because they have a job and a car. It's like, are you kidding me right now? So, thank you guys once again for showing up and being here with me. I will see you real soon. Hit that subscription and that like button on your way out. And I will see you on Sunday morning. Okay? Watch for the show page to come up. I'll be putting it up tonight or tomorrow. Bye bye.